DP2 students are a topic mean the transfer of the energy through the process of the convection. Now we are going to start. Convection is the transfer of the heat from one part of the fluid to another by the circulatory movement of the fluid itself. In this process of convection, we observe only in the fluids which can flow, mean the liquids and the gases, because the liquid and the gases, the particles have distances and they can easily change their position by getting the heat. And the change in position due to getting heat is due to the circulatory movement of the particles, and the circulatory stream of the fluid which is set up is called a convection current. In order to understand the process of convection in the liquids, let's get the help from the example of the water. Suppose you have started to heat your water from one side, the particles will get heat and the water will start to become warm, and after getting the heat the particles will become less dense and they will start to move upward in a circulatory way, and the water particles which are at the top, they are comparatively cool and they will start to move downward because the space occurs over here when the warm particles move upward. In order to fill this space, the cool particles will start to move downward, and due to this circulating movement of the particles of the fluid, the heat will start to transfer evenly in all parts of the liquid. In this way, with the help of the process of the convection, the water will become equally warm. Then the very other important example is the formation of the sea breeze and the land breeze. Sand breeze formation occurs at the day and the cool air from sea start to move towards the land. Breeze mean cool air. And during the land breeze formation, this process occurs at night and cool air from land moves towards the sea. Actually, what happens? The land represents the solid and the water represents the liquid. During the daytime, the land becomes warmer as compared to the sea. The sea is the liquid. When the land becomes warmer, the air which is on the land, it will start to become warm and it rises upward. And here the gap occurs. In order to fill the gap, the cool air from the sea starts to move towards the land, and due to the movement of the cool air from sea towards the land, cool sea breeze is formed, and at night time land breeze is formed. How does it form? Actually, the land loses heat more quickly, fastly as compared to the liquid, because land represents the conductor, and that's why the land becomes cool and the cool air sinks downward, and the warm downward mean towards the sea, and the warm air from the sea rises upward, and in order to fill the gap, the cool air from sea starts to move towards the from land towards the sea, and in this way the land breeze is formed. And due to the circulatory movement of the air in a daytime, in a night time, the land breeze and sea breeze and land breeze is formed. This is also an example of the process of the convection. Now let's start from the everyday applications. Everyday applications also help us to understand the process of the convection. In our homes, in our rooms, usually we keep the ventilators at the top because the warm air rises upward and then it releases from the ventilators to keep the overall temperature of your room normal. Mostly the heaters are fitted at the bottom because warm air rises upward and the cool air sinks downward, and due to the circulatory movement of the air, the temperature of your room become normal or little bit warm. And mostly over here they have shown you that the air conditions are mostly fitted at the top. That's why the cool air sinks downward and the warm air rises upward, and due to the circulatory movement of the air, that your room temperature becomes low and your room becomes cool. And over here you can understand cool air always sinks downward because it is more dense, mean heavier. Warm air rises upward because it is less dense. And due to the circulating movement of the air, the temperature, overall temperature of the rooms or the environment remains normal. Over here they have shown you in the kettle, when you start to heat the water particles get heat and they start to move upward and the heavier particles move downward, and due to circulating movement of the fluid itself, the water will become equally hot in the this hot kettle. So these are the different examples to understand the process of the convection.